Hey there, everybody. Matt Carter here from CarterMatt.com. We're struggling to contain ourselves.
And I'm Jessica Carter, also from CarterMatt.com.
Over the course of the next however long this is, we may forget our names, we may forget where we are, we may start actually seeing ghosts. This is going to be an interesting... Okay, alright, It's happening. It's happening.
Spoilers ahead. Spoilers ahead.
I hope that you know that there are spoilers ahead if you even clicked on this video.
Yes, this is our NCIS Season 16 finale review, and there are lots of spoilers ahead. We have a lot to talk about.
Okay. The irony here is, I don't want to shortchange Joe Spano. I don't want to shortchange Fernell. All of that was really, really great. But I know that we are about to dive into so deep of a rabbit hole that, we're going to spend the next 3 months with our heads just stuck in the rabbit hole.
Yes.
Brace yourselves. Okay, let's just ask the question. Did Ziva come back? Before we answer it, if you like this video, that's what we like to call a tease in this business. Give us a like and subscribe to CarterMatt on YouTube so you don't miss any other updates. See, this is what happens when we do a video 10 minutes after we watch an episode like this.
We're hyped.
We're hyped. This is something that actually happened when we were both watching it. There were actual screams. And, I'm not going to emulate yours, but I don't know why I'm doing this on video, but mine was something like, ah! And
It was. This is oh my God, it's happening, it's happening.
Okay, well, let's backtrack a second.
Okay, yes. I don't want to shortchange Fernell either, and a few weeks ago, we were doing a preview for this finale, and I said on that preview that I didn't want this to turn into the same situation that happened on The Walking Dead with the big Morgan episode. Because the episode before, everybody thought that Glenn might be dead. So spoilers for all you Walking Dead people out there that haven't seen this episode. However, it's been on a long time now, so there's also
not our fault anymore.
Yeah, so They had this episode where everybody thought that Glenn was dead, and then the next episode, they had this incredible episode about Morgan and some of his backstory, and it was one of the best episodes they've ever done of that show. It is probably my top favorite episode of the show. It was so good, but nobody cared because everybody wanted to know what happened to Glenn. And so everybody ended up not giving it a chance and not really getting into it. I was really worried that this was going to happen. And I got a tweet from Stephen Binder who told me that he was not going to Morgan Fernell. And he absolutely came through 100%. My champion. He did not do that to him. He gave Fernell an incredible story. What a great performance. This was across the board one of my favorite finales of this season. It was just great. And they didn't leave us in the lurch with any of the Ziva stuff that has been building up and building up. He did not Morgan the situation. He gave me a great Morgan episode and he told me what happened with Glenn. It was everything. I am living for this magic.
I think we can just walk off now. I don't know what else we have to say, because that sums everything up. Oh my God. Okay, let's start by saying this. We did not know Ziva was coming back in this episode. That was...
No, and that really surprised me because of how much they hyped up the She episode, and she wasn't even in that. That was just a mention of what was going on with it, and that was hyped like it was the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I expected that if she was coming back, that it would be the biggest thing that they would be hyping up for weeks on end and not a peep.
Yeah. I think, there's a lot of credit to be going around here, and CBS sent me a lot of info, and we'll go through some of that info that I found out about the filming of this episode tonight. But yeah, I mean, we came on here, we made our silly predictions, and we were just kind of like, okay, they'll probably give us maybe a little bitty spoiler, maybe a little bitty tease for something that was going to come.
Maybe a shadowy figure in the doorway. And we saw, there was an interview the other day where they're kind of like, we don't know where the story's going. Yeah, you know where the story's going. It's going to Ziva Town. That is where it is going.
At about 5 minutes from the end of this episode, I was strongly concerned that our YouTube channel was going to be set on fire by a lot of angry people.
Including me. I'll burn us to the ground.
Yeah, including ourselves for trying to hype this up so much. But then, in the closing seconds, there she is, Cote de Pablo, like, actually in the flesh. No shadowy figure.
I did not expect that. I thought a bit of a crumb that's going to get us into the next season. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. I am here for a slow ride. I don't mind a slow ride. I love the slow burn, but this is just a fire. The whole house is on fire now.
And, okay, this is what's crazy about it. I give Steve and Frank Cardet, the executive producers, all the credit for being able to pull this off, especially now that I've heard what I've heard, which is basically that via CBS, they kept all of this information out of the finale scripts. So if you were just, a normal crew member, if you were, I'm guessing one of the other cast members, except for obviously Mark Harmon,
you didn't know.
You didn't know this was going to happen. I mean, there were very few people, including, of course, the showrunners, who had the information that this was actually going to be going down. They kept that really hush-hush. They filmed this scene apparently at midnight one night after most of the crew went home.
Yep.
So there was no way everyone would know about it. And beyond all of this, Cote de Pablo apparently entered the studio via a back entrance. So, you want to talk about Ziva the ninja. This is like some next level ninja stuff from CBS. This is like CBS turning this into Game of Thrones with like the amount of actually like protection that they're going. Has CBS ever hid something this well? It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's incredible that they went through this to have such a huge spoiler or big surprise that came out like this. What a great job! I'm so hyped. I'm really glad that they didn't decide to hype this up. Could she be coming back? We've heard lots of people that haven't been that happy, that there hasn't been much of a mention of her. I love the way that they put this together. They gave us, she's alive. Here's a couple little sprinkles. And then a bit of silence. And I saw people getting really upset and being like, they're just going to leave us in the lurch. And it was perfectly planned so that this could happen, and I've seen some people be like, oh man, I should have watched. I didn't think they were going to do this. We're right there with you. We didn't think that this was going to happen.
No one thought it was going to happen. I mean, if there was like one question I could ask all the powers that be right now, I mean, there's a lot of obvious ones, but I'm really curious about this. Was there an equal amount of collaboration between the producers and CBS over how this would be promoted? Is this something that the producers had to specifically request, that they kept this surprise a surprise? Because obviously it worked and it produced like the legitimate scream moment that happened over here. But okay, now that we've gotten over, I think, the initial reaction, but I think our adrenaline is still...
I'm not over it. No. This is going to be all summer long, guys. All
but
summer long.
Now that we know that she's back, though, let's kind of discuss the circumstances of it.
Yeah.
Because the case involving Fernell, it seems like it's over at this point. It seems like everything has happened. That we've got this scene between Gibbs and Diane, who was a lot of fun throughout the episode. And then, out of nowhere, Ziva turns up, and then she says to Gibbs that Gibbs is in danger.
Yeah.
And basically, that is it. Boom, completely done. Where do you think we're going with this?
I really don't know. I mean, Gibbs has been in danger every episode.
Yeah.
Gibbs is in some sort of danger. So for Ziva to come out of hiding where she has been in hiding, she didn't want anything to happen to her family. She is scared for whatever reason that she is in some sort of danger. Her family could be in some sort of danger. For her to come out of hiding, to come to Gibbs, to say, you're in danger, I gotta be here because you're in danger, this must be something pretty serious. Now, I have seen some people saying, oh, maybe she's also an illusion. I just don't think she is.
I was one of those people at first.
Yeah, no, I just don't think she is. I mean, we're looking at Diane, who is actually deceased, and Ziva, who is not deceased. So is it possible he's hallucinating? I guess so, but I just don't think so.
I think Gibbs probably thinks in that moment that he is hallucinating.
Absolutely. Well, he thinks that she is
gone.
So.
He thinks that she is gone. I mean, I know this from what CBS said, that Cote is going to be back in the premiere, so you don't have to worry that this is going to be something that they're just like giving you this and then just screwing you out of any further appearances from her. But, the implication that I at least get, this is not verified, is that is in fact Ziva, that she was coming, and that this is just a case of really, really terrible timing, where unfortunately Ziva seems to know a lot of things, but she does not know that Gibbs is hallucinating and seeing a character that's actually dead.
Yeah, no.
So,
she doesn't know that.
yeah, but it is still kind of interesting because it is, what does Ziva know? What has Ziva been up to? Like, could you argue that maybe Gibbs is in danger because of something related to Judge Dredd, as we like to call him, from this season? Or is this a completely, disconnected story where I feel like if you're Gibbs, there are approximately like 2,000 people who probably want you dead.
Everybody wants him dead, and he's got NCIS and all of the team and himself to know if there are dangers coming, and Ziva is on her own and now seems to know more than Gibbs. So I'm starting to feel that it's some sort of a threat that she knows of because she's been off the grid and in danger and worried her family's in danger, that it's all gonna tie up together.
Yeah, I think it's something that's probably a little bit separate than what we've had going on. I think we share the same theory here that she's found out something. She feels like she has to tell Gibbs about it. And apparently whatever this is so important that it's not information that can be spread around to other people. So,
or that she wasn't willing to write Bishop another note. I mean, Bishop's in the secret spy shack, so there's no reason why she couldn't have just slipped her the note and been like, hey, can you warn Gibbs that this is a thing? She felt she needed to come out of hiding herself to tell him. This is setting up for something big.
Yeah, something very, very big. And it's obviously so pressing that she didn't even want to wait to go through like the telephone game of like writing it down, then Gibbs, then Bishop finding it, because who knows when Bishop was going to be back at the spy shack. And then I'm calling it that now. Thanks,
That's
Tony
right.
from Survivor. But
no, you can thank me.
Okay, well, thank you as well for co-opting Tony from Survivor's phrase. But no, it all seems to be connected into some sort of really interesting mystery that's going to be kind of playing up. And, I hope that this means that it's not going to be like Ziva asking Gibbs to keep this a secret from everyone else, because I kind of want to see Mcgee and Ziva together again, in a scene. Like, I know that there are a lot of other people on NCIS who weren't around when Ziva was on the show, so those moments aren't as impactful, but
I think it's going to be really interesting to see the new cast members interacting with her, and her and Bishop have a connection. They may not have met, but this is the only person that Ziva trusted with this secret, and she's been holding it. She's been carrying it. And I am very, very interested now that Gibbs knows that she's alive. When he finds out that Bishop knew, I can't wait for that moment. I can't wait for it.
Gibbs is really good at giving dirty looks. So I feel like this is going to be like a 10-minute just like dirty stare. Like, I think he'll understand on some level, but
I
think he's not going to like it, but I think he'll understand.
I can't wait for that moment. I can't.
Oh, no, it's going to be really, really good. And what's so fun about all of this? It's really full circle. I love doing the circle thing with my hand. Okay, but basically it is something that Ziva started, the Rule 10. That kind of kicks everything off, and then at the very end of all of this, here is Ziva again, with something that's probably very personal to her and very personal to Gibbs at the same time.
Absolutely, and Rule 10 was brought up again about not getting personally involved, and Diane telling him, you're breaking down those walls, and this is a good thing, and keep going forward with this. It is a good place that we're going here.
Yeah, and I mean,
I like seeing Gibbs change.
Yeah, I think that is a good thing. I think it's a good thing that Gibbs is not the same Gibbs that he was years ago. I think we got a good message out of this finale. But I think there is, there's another question we have to address here, at least briefly. And I mean, we'll talk about the Fresnel stuff too, but we're getting Ziva back. It seems like, it's probably just one episode for now. I haven't heard anything about her being around beyond that. Never say never, really. Never really thought we'd see Mac and Harm for multiple episodes on NCIS LA. So, here we are. But what do you think they're going to do with the Tony of it all? Because, I mean, it's impossible to not ask about Tony in some way, shape, or form, given that Ziva's back.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be mention of him and some sort of talk about him. Are we going to see him? I don't know.
Yeah.
I know this is going to be a controversial thing, but I don't need to see him. I need to see her. I needed to know she was alive.
Yeah.
I needed to see her. I've seen her. This is all, her being with Tony. I will need to know they're together, but I don't need to see them together. Would I like to? Yes. Do I need to? No. I just need to know that they're together, that she is not stuck in hiding for the rest of her life, living this sad little life in hiding, that she will be reunited with them. I would love to see that reunion, but I don't need it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think I agree with that. I think it is ultimately a situation here where if we only have Cote for this one episode coming up, I think you have to kind of pack as much stuff in there as possible about where she's been, what she has been up to, and, if we at least know that she can go off somewhere to be with Tony, to be with, daughter, I think everything will in the end be all right with that. Because we've already gotten some closure, at least, in that Tony is okay.
Yep.
He's off somewhere living a happy life.
Yep.
Ziva, we don't really have any closure on. So.
Yes, and that's why I know a lot of people feel that if you have Ziva, you have to have Tony, but they're still two separate people to me. So I had some closure with Tony. I know where he is. Well, I know what he's gone off to do, and I know that he's with his daughter, and I know that he's somewhat safe wherever he is, whether he's with her or not with her. Nobody actually knows at this point. But Ziva, I've known nothing. It's just been, she's dead, which, nobody really believed, and now she's not. So I need Ziva, and I need to know about her and what's been happening with her. They're not, I like them being together, and I want them to be together, but they're not one person.
Yeah, well, let's move quickly here and talk a little bit about Fornell and all this sort of stuff, because I've always liked Fornell. I think Fornell really needs to be thanking his lucky stars that he is basically the luckiest person alive, given, let's count all the illegal things that Fornell does in this episode. He pulls a gun on a doctor.
Yeah, he kicked that door in like he was Van Damme or something.
Yeah, he kicks the door in. He gets all up in this doctor's business. I'm pretty sure he broke at least a couple of laws that we did not see over the course of this episode.
Yeah, he got very lucky that everyone was like, okay, I'm not going to press charges.
Yeah.
That seemed to be the theme with him. All right, I'm just going to let this one go.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of a situation where a lot of people understand that this is a guy whose, daughter was in severe danger. He obviously didn't have the full story for a lot of it, but, this just ended up being, it started really intense, and it made me think that we were going in this direction where Fornell may kill somebody, and that's going to be our cliffhanger.
Yeah, I was starting to kind of wonder if this was going to be near the cliffhanger, if Fornell was going to get himself into some serious trouble, because he wasn't taking on this vigilante justice in any kind of way that didn't have 100 witnesses. It was, he didn't care.
Yeah, and I thought this was going in a really bad direction, and that we were either going to have Fornell in prison, we were going to have Fornell dead, we were going to have Fornell, also Diane's ghost, convince Gibbs to do something terrible, and that Gibbs was going to get arrested. I thought we were going down that road, but this ended up being just surprisingly really emotional.
Very emotional, beautiful performance. It was great. I love me some Fornell. Anyone who's watched this channel or follows me on Twitter, I just love him. I love Joe. This was really good. I never want to see Fornell in this much pain. Yeah. But man, it was a very different place for him.
Yeah, and I think this episode taught him a lot about, sometimes you don't need to be, former FBI agent Fornell or just PI Fornell. You don't have to kick down doors and pull your gun on people and intimidate them. You can just kind of be a dad and be there and be emotional and willing to listen and not judgmental. And, sometimes that is going to do the job more than anything else. And I love this scene where it was, it had kind of a comedic spin where basically Gibbs having a conversation with Fornell becomes Diane having a conversation with Fornell. And he starts to get a little bit of that closure.
Yep.
So, yeah, this was... Joe Spano killed this episode, like, really. And, you know, I love the Ziva reveal, but I hope at the same time people do remember how awesome he was throughout all of this.
Yes, remember the Morgan. He is the Morgan. He was fantastic. The writing for him was fantastic. This was such a good episode for Joe. Yeah, I know that everyone's going to be talking mostly about Ziva, but... yeah, I really hope people do not forget what a great performance this was for him.
Yeah.
Because it really was. And it was a great story, great performance, great writing.
Well, before we wrap this up, I mean, we're at the end now of season 16, and I know at least you and I, we have shared this belief that this has been one of the best NCIS seasons in a long time.
Yeah, it really has been.
Has this closing sort of twist, has that elevated it again to another level, or does a finale to you, does that alter what you think about a season?
No, because I'm here for the journey. I mean, like with Game of Thrones, lots of people were burning the finale to the ground, and on. But the journey of the season, and, you know, yeah, there's some things that didn't work out or whatever, but it's about the journey for me. And this whole season, this journey, I've enjoyed the story with Vance and the CIA and watching Gibbs unravel and Sloane and her daughter. Like, there was just so much good material going on in this season that having a great finale, that makes it, you know, great as well. But they were already on their way to having one of their best seasons. If the finale was only so-so, and even if they didn't have the Ziva reveal, this was still an excellent season for me.
Yeah, and I agree. Like, I will say that for me, I feel like it does lift it a little bit, but that's just because I already thought it was great. And the only way that I would have, like, really just slammed this season because of the finale is if the finale had just turned off just to be a complete and total, you know, insert word here show, just a total disaster. But I didn't really think that it was going to be a disaster. And
no, I felt the only thing that I needed in the finale was some sort of Ziva mention. Like I said, I'm here for the slow ride. They didn't have to actually give me Ziva. I'm so thankful that they did.
Yeah.
But even if they had given me a mention, it still would have been a great, great finale.
And with that in mind, I'm going to go probably eat junk food for the rest of the night because that's going to be what's happening now.
Then I guess there's also going to be a trip to the store because there's none of that happening in the house.
Yeah, this is my brain is just like at the moment. But I mean, you know, there may be another video about NCIS coming up before long, so keep your eyes peeled for that.
There's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot to talk about, but I want to know from you guys now. What did you think about this finale, the end of it? Where do you think things are going from here? Share in the comments, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking that link in the description to the CarterMatt store. Thank you for watching this season, for hanging out with us, for talking about NCIS with us. This is not the end, and we will see you guys here next time.